food markets only.
Meet Susie Smart, she is so bright. On her blackboard you can write. She has a desk, she has a seat. What's your name, my darling sweet?
My name is Susie Smart.
She can talk!
She can talk, but can she add?
2 plus 2 is 4. Cat, C-A-T.
You can spell!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how
You recite!
Press the button, she says a dozen things, complete with desk, blackboard, and seat. Susie Smart, sold at food markets only.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Time.
I've been thinking about this, Mr. Hand. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
Well, good evening, everyone. All the cats and kittens and pups and pooches and everybody. It's Sisie Q96. Not quite sure where the M3 is. He's around. And it's time for the Lodo coin collecting show. And I even found some things to collect in. Life cereal's good. I liked it too. I'm not allowed to have a whole lot of that kind of stuff, but it is one of my favorites, along with Chex. Any of those things kind of like that I'm good with. So it was a heck of a weekend around the country. See, I don't claim this as Memorial Day weekend because they changed the date of Memorial Day and just made it so everybody could have a party holiday. And my father's birthday was May the 30th, which was the true original Memorial Day. So the moving the date around thing never really went over too well at my house, except that my dad felt that that was entitlement enough for him to celebrate his birthday twice. Which would have been a good thing, except my dad was kind of a butthole. I don't know how to describe my dad. I just don't. My dad had some serious mental issues. Hi, Fleabag. Hi, New Marshall. Hi, Lucky James. Hi, William E. That reminds me, since I just said Lucky James and William E. in the same sentence, you are the only two whose prizes I have not sent out yet. William E., I don't know why I didn't send yours. James, I didn't get sent because I didn't have an envelope. But now I got an envelope, so I'll finish those two up tomorrow. And then I also have Silver Slinky's Patreon win from last week. Other than that, I'm all caught up. Everybody should be getting something somewhere along the line. If you had any winnings. Sir Benji, I handed him his the other day. They're probably still in his van. But I'm slowly getting caught up and getting the area around my desk organized, and I'm still rolling all those coins in that great big bin. So if you have not gone over there and made your guess yet, go to the main page of my channel, which I probably should just make a link to the video where you make your comment. I'm a little bit tired because the last 3 nights I've been up watching tornado tracker channels. Most of my family, my cousins and the few aunts and uncles that I have left, live in Iowa or Illinois. Fortunately, everybody, to the best of my knowledge, made it through okay. And then I started watching areas that I know some of my subscribers are in, trying to make sure they were okay. And then adding insult to injury, some of the storms that were not in the Midwest were in Virginia, and one of the areas that was getting mentioned was Galax, where I just moved away from. So I got a hold of a couple people there, made sure they were okay. Some folks I know in Tennessee, I was checking on them, but I was just fascinated and a little appalled at some of the things I saw. Being a photography type person, I was amazed that people who were not storm trackers thought it was cool to go out and hang out in the middle of tornadoes trying to get some extra views on their YouTube channels. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you people? Some of them I almost felt like deserved to get blown away, but nobody really deserves that. Anyway, right before I came over and sat down to do this show, I was watching some people in Missouri that they had rescued, and I just could not wrap my mind around this one lady. They had rescued her and her husband and their little Yorkie dog. And she's standing in the middle of what's left of her house. And they said something to the effect that she smelled gas. So they're trying to get her out of there. Hi, Copper Owl. Hi, Annette. So they're trying to get her out of there. And this dingbat broad standing in the middle of a pile of stuff saying it smells like gas. And she's got a freaking cigarette hanging out of her mouth. I mean, I can understand. I haven't smoked for years, but I probably would have wanted a cigarette after surviving that too. But not so badly that I'd want to blow everybody up. Come on, people. Okay, let me get this pasted in here quick. It's gonna be. Shut up. All right. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be the link to the comment video for the guess how much money's in the bin. And that drawing is going to be happening first week in June. So if you have not made your guess yet, you only get one. Rules are posted on the video thing, and they're in the video. So anyway, if you have not entered yet, and the reason I cannot tell you what the prize is because I haven't gotten the prize yet. And why is that? I'm going to share that with you in just a second. I have not got it yet because I'm going to pick up something at next weekend at the Clarkston, spit it out, Susan, coin show. Get over here. Bring the info about it up on the screen, but then I will read it to you because the screen's kind of not real good. Yeah, I'm about the same, Copper Owl. I've got 3 left. I got 4, but one of them's got to go over the ocean. Oh my gosh, Furry, what's going on? Anyway, I'm going to be going along with the Fleabag and the Sir Benji. We're going to take Benji's Bozo bus over to Clarkston on June 1st. In case anybody's in that area wants to go to the coin show, it is at American Legion Post 63, 8047 Ortonville Road, which is M15, the same highway that we just did the big yard sale on a few weeks ago. And that is in Clarkston. And it is on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. The ladies' auxiliary will be serving lunch between 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m., which I'm sure you have to pay for that, but I'm sure it'll be good and probably inexpensive. And the admission to the event is absolutely free. You can get free parking. You can get your coins appraised. Sounds like it's going to be a fun time. So we're going to go over there. There's a couple other ones listed on this page. I don't know if these are the same show or not. There's the Detroit Area Coin Show on June the 9th and Metro Detroit, Metro Detroit Coins and More Coin Show also on the 9th. Okay, it says that one is actually in Royal Oak at the Royal Oak Detroit Elks Club. And I back myself up here. Nope, those are 2 different shows. The Detroit area one also on the 9th. That one's in Southfield, Michigan. Also free. So anyway, coin show season is on. So, oh, that's not good, Tina. I'm so sorry. We will all keep her in our thoughts. I hate that thoughts and prayer line, but sometimes that's all you can do. I mean, I felt so helpless watching those tornadoes going through Iowa. By the way, has anybody seen Jack Gallman online in the last day or two? Because when I was watching this stuff, there was some storms down in North Carolina, and they mentioned the town he lives in. So just keep an eyeball open for Jack. All right. So anyway, we're going to go to the Detroit area. No, we're going to go to the Clark. Why am I fumbling over my word? Clarkston Coin Show. Oops. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Thank you, William. I was just concerned because I did see his area mentioned when I was watching the North Carolina, Virginia stuff. So, that's good. Okay, so anyway, last mention of the Clarkston coin show. But that's the reason I have not announced what the prize is for the best guess on the bin of coins, is because I'm going to pick something up at that show. I'm not sure what yet. I'm going to try to look for something unique that folks would be interested in owning. So I'm going to try to pick up something nice. So if you're in Clarkston area, or you feel like driving there, that's where you will find Benji and Fleabag and myself. Hey, Flea, you still hanging out? If you are, is Mrs. Flea coming on the adventure? You know, I'm not sure about Digging with Deej, but she lives very close to that show. So she might also be attending. I just have not spoken to her yet. Well, let me get my 70S nickel out of here. And let me tell you what else I found. So this is going to change some things. I am still working on my personal National Park Quarters folder. I have been working on it since 2019 because I am only using coins that are in the wild. Originally, it was just nothing but car wash quarters, but I've had to throw in some pocket change, soda machines, that kind of stuff, an occasional bank roll. But let me see if I can figure out which camera is which. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Lemons, stickers. I'm getting every camera but the front one. The M3 Kitty House with no M3 in it. Last but not least, hi. Oops. Exposing myself. My goodness. Sorry, my house is always a mess. Anyway, when I was looking around for prizes and that kind of stuff, I found an empty National Park Quarters folder. Which, well, actually, it's not empty. I see a quarter falling out of it. So it's got 1 quarter, 2, 3 quarters in it. I must have started this one. So I'm not going to mess with it tonight, but we will start that one next week. And I also found another 50 states quarter book. Now, this one does not have the territories. It just has 1 spot for each state, and that's it. But that's still, and also a spot for obverse and reverse. So that one we probably will start tonight. And so those, when completed, will be giveaways. So that being said, let's see what else I want to talk about. What we're going to do tonight. All right, I'm going to put that in there so they don't get up. And what we got over here? I don't know. I also found this little purse. I forgot where it was made. Czechoslovakia, I think. Anyway, it had a silver certificate stashed in it. So That was an interesting find. Timber. Just knocked over the camera. I still haven't got the cameras mounted yet. So, we found some toys. Yeah, I used to like, I still do actually, like mint sets, but I don't have very many. I gave a lot of mine away and sold a bunch of them just because. Just because. But yeah, the filling a whole album, there's always a couple of rare ones that are difficult. Like I said, I've been working on that state. Yeah, I really wanted to go down and see Jack when I lived in Michigan because he didn't in Michigan. Well, I lived in Virginia because he didn't live all that far from me. I'm familiar with the area he's from, but I just never could make that happen. I think I'm going to push the quarters off to the side now because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls of nickels. And to be honest, they haven't been particularly promising. They're bankrolled. And they're not really giving me as much as I had hoped. But I got my books out, so we might as well play into nickels tonight. Okay, there's my buffalo book. It doesn't have a whole lot of buffaloes in it. But I'm going to leave it out here because wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. And then I got my 62 to 95 and my 96 4. So I got my books. I need to get me a little folding tape. I had a whole set of them. And I should have kept one. So I got some nickels I set aside over here. I'm gonna check them out, see if there's any spaces in the albums for them. And and then, oops, oh, that's lovely. Getting that Einstein hair going here. Let me get the microscopical up here. Topical. Okay, 69D. I know I don't need that. Well, maybe I do. I'm in the wrong album. Now I'm going to check these loose ones that are sitting around on the desk first. Oh, I don't know what to do here. I have one in my book, but it is a detected one. It is not nearly as nice as the one under the scope. So I think what I'm going to do is take the one under the scope, stick it in one of the blank spots, save that for later. Let's see what else we got. 63. Actually, the one that I have in the slot is nicer than this one, and it's one that I metal detected. I put a little mark on them. So let's put this over here. I'm going to make a 60s ones that I don't need because maybe somebody else. This is a 64. Yeah, nickels, sometimes I forget to flip them for the mint mark. And here's one of the newer buffaloes. Hey, Paula. I hope everybody who was in any of the tornado areas, I hope all of your families are safe. I've gotten reports back from several of my cousins who were in Iowa and Illinois. Other than some down tree branches and stuff, they were all very fortunate. So pleased about that. I just got to see what these are. Out of 64. Open. I kept this one aside because it is shiny, shiny, except it's got a little blob. But it's pretty nice. 2021P. I do not believe I need that one. This book is almost complete. In fact, it needs 2023P. And I think that's all in this book. Yeah, that's all I need in this book is a 2023P. So I should luck out and get one of those in this bank. Oh yeah, this is the one that just looks so strange. Mutilated. All right. So let's open a roll of nickels. Any me. Mine. I'm gonna look at the enders. I'm grasping at straws, folks. Now there's one of the new buffaloes on the end. There's a really dirty one on the end. All right, I'm gonna take the dirty roll. Just take the dirty roll. Yeah, it did look a little like a spider in its web. Yeah, we didn't get any tornado warnings or anything, but the tornadoes were a lot closer to us than they originally had said they were going to be. So that was a little disconcerting. And this morning, we had a really loud clap of thunder and lightning. And before we even got that, M3 had run and hidden under the bed. So there was something out there he wasn't wasn't liking too much. But it didn't amount to anything in particular. Let me see. I do not have my nickel list completed yet as far as my errors and stuff. So I'm just going to put my nickels in a container and I will give them a cursory look for more stuff. Mm-hmm. 2002, 8. Hey, Flea, is the missus coming along to the coin show, or is she going to stay home and be happy she doesn't have to listen to us yip yap? We're all bozos on that bus. Benji's Bozo Bus. It's my new name for it. Sir Benji's van. Well, fairly new nickels are sure grubbied. Oh, it's a Louis and Clark. Put that over there. What's standing on his hands? Ain't no fun. Yip yap. Yippity doo dah. Yippity yay. 21. What I need. Yeah, I was watching all these different tornado things, and they were talking to this one guy. I think he was in Arkansas, that had taken his coin collection with him into his safe space. Not a bad idea, actually. That might be a place where you might just want to store it there most of the time so you didn't have to try to round it up. I was thinking if I had to get in my safe space, I was taking my detector with me, because I might need it to find my possessions if I lived through the storm. 2001 commodity. I know I don't need that. That. 87, I can use. Yeah, well, that's what happened to my collection, William. One of my significant other's friends had a drug problem, and while I was at college, liberated my collection and bought drugs with it at face value. Except, unbeknownst to me, did not get my pennies, which were at my mom's house. I did not know my mom's, but I'm glad they were. I found them after my mom passed away. But yeah, all my my Mercs and Benjis and all my goodies got spent by a junkie. And true to form, that same person also helped herself to the money for my significant other's tombstone when he died. He had some great friends. He POS, that girl was. Just needed a plain 7. What's growing on this bad boy? But it is green. It looks black under the scope, but that is actually green on there. It's a green, gross green. This one's nice and shiny up. Oh, and it's the one I need. I think. Is that the one I need? No, I need the P. But I'm keeping this one. I'm going to switch out the one I have in my album because this one is much nicer. And I'm sorry if the audio is screwy, but they still have not come back and fixed the air conditioner properly. And it is, when it kicks in, it is very loud. There's nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately, it's pretty close to my desk. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Thank you for letting me know, because when it kicks in, it's pretty loud. Out of my way. Here we go. Yes, they are, Mud. And that's why I think I might own 2 or 3, because I sold most of mine off trying to get moved. That hurt me, but I kind of had to. Well, hello there, Greenwood. Long time no see. Long time no see. I'm looking at America here. I guess that's just shadows. Yeah, it's going to take me forever to roll up those coins. Well, that reminds me, I got to find that link that I posted earlier. Because I forgot to pin it. Yeah, pin that up to the top. There. Yeah, the link to guess how many coins are in the tub. Stabbed coins? I think you meant slabbed. I've never stabbed a coin. Well, actually, yeah, I have. Yeah, M3 is a handsome little dump. Sure, I don't know where he is right now. I was looking for him. Yeah, he hadn't made a videos for a while, so I had to put him on the UB2B, as he calls it. He's been an ornery little stinker lately. His new hobby is attack Mama feet. Now, the problem with that is I have developed problems with my feet. And when he decides he's going to attack them, it causes pain to the Mama. And we're going to have to figure out a way to break him of that. That's just not going to work for me. I have to be real careful that I am wearing socks or slippers or shoes. There's my 2023D. All right. Let me get that album, because that completed my album. The volume, whoops, I just dropped my nickel roll on the floor. I didn't hear any fallout. So, my 96 to 2023 album is now complete. Now, that's my personal album. Hi, Lisa. Hey, SkyQuest. Oops. I wonder how many nickels fell out of the roll when it hit the floor. Let's see, 2. All right. So now I'm just concentrating on the other album, which needs a 71 and an 87p for completion. Well, I would buy slabs if I had the money on certain items, but I really can't do that. I just don't have the money. And truthfully, right now, I'm investing most everything in trying to get a car, because I can take the medical transit to the doctors, but I can't do metal detecting, going to yard sales, or all those groovy things, or going to see my friend Q, or going to see live music. You gonna buy me a car when you win the lottery, Mud Swat? I'll take a cheap one, $1,000 car, anything. Thank crab. I can't even go look for a car because I don't have any way to go look for a car. It's terrible. Like this past weekend, they had a rock and blues music festival right here in Burton. And I'll take it, Mud Swamp. I'll take that 98 Toyota. I'd be happy to have it. I'd be happy to have another 2005 Malibu Max, actually. I love that little car, but I wore it out. Anyway, I would like to have gone to that blues and rock festival thing that they were having, because there was a guy playing there named Rusty Wright. Rusty's a Michigan artist, but he moved to Florida quite a while back. And he's a friend of Q's. And I would have liked to have gone to see him play, but I couldn't get there from here, because I didn't find out about the thing until Friday night, and it was on Saturday, so it was too late to make a reservation for transportation. That rhymed. Yeah, that's another one I would have liked to have gone to, Lisa. Because you know I got a lot of friends up Bay City. There's some Mysterian folks live up there. So yeah, I'm missing out on my music and my yard sales, my metal detector. So I gotta find some wheels. I've been selling my record collection, some other things. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to get some stuff posted in my eBay store. Got a whole bunch of vintage. All right, Miss Paula, be a good girl. So anyhow, I'm gonna try and get. I bought a whole big box of knitting and crochet pattern books and needles when Sir Benji and I went to the yard sales up in Frankenmuth, Michigan. And there's some vintage ones in there, has some really cool stuff in them. I want to get those posted. I do not knit or crochet. I tried so hard to learn. I'm really good at embroidery, but I'm not good at knit and crochet, but I know some of the ladies in here are. So I'm going to try to get those posted. A lot of them look like they were purchased and never used. So that's kind of, they call that new old stock. When I'm asleep is when I'm at my best. Yep, that would be me too. Yep. Oh, I just opened another roll of nickels. So wasn't much in that first one. I'm not having a lot of hope on these rolls. They have not been too productive, but we still got to open and check them out. So, what the heck, kind of. I'm looking at that mint mark, trying to figure out what that is. Yeah, I think that's me too, but what? Only time I'm at peace. I can't tell what that is. 1979 blob. Bye, Paula. Ooey magooey. I'm going to ask the question just because I can. It's a music question. There's an obscure artist, kind of an Americana blues guy. Most people have never heard of him. I'm just curious if anybody in here is familiar with Ray Wiley Hubbard. He's a Texas artist. No, Lisa, I don't. But I'll put that up there for a minute in case somebody sees it. Anyway, I'm a fan of this guy, Ray Wiley Hubbard. He writes some really strange stuff. And I used to play in a duo for a little while, an acoustic duo with one of my friends, and we used to do this song by Ray Wiley Hubbard. And I heard it yesterday for the first time in a long, well, actually not yesterday, it was a few days ago. But I heard it and now I got it stuck in my head and I can't get it out. So I'm going to torture everybody by doing the same thing to you guys. I'm going to post this link. It's a song he wrote years and years ago. Ooh, that didn't work. I have to post the link. And apparently I copied it incorrectly. Let me go get it. Yeah, I just want to share it. Do I still play? I haven't for a while, but I'm going to try and start again. Because Q wants me to play something with him. He's working on a concept album, and he wants me to play something on there. So that, and I'm gonna bug one of my friends. My long time ago significant other wrote a very famous song that was stolen from him, and anyway, my other friend's band plays it, and I really want to come out on their stage and just play the opening to the song. I don't want to play the whole song because it's like 20 minutes long and I wouldn't last, but I can still play, and I'm gonna try and break my guitars out this week, and see if I can, now that I've got some of my arthritis and other things under control a little bit, see if I can function. I'm not a lead guitar player, never been a lead guitar player. I am a rhythm guitar player. Pulled out the sax and asked the neighbor if he heard them ducks. Yep. Funny you mentioned playing sax, because my friend that I played in that duo with, he was a very excellent lead guitar player. So much that at one point in time he played in Edgar Winter's touring band. Back when it was Edgar Winter's White Trash in the early 70s. And Edgar's one heck of a sax player. Edgar's one heck of an everything player. Goodness, don't see that. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, if you ever needed to be humbled, just watching those people going through those tornadoes last night. That'll humble you. Mitchell's. Yeehaw. There is on this channel actually one video of me playing. It's really old, but it's me playing with a friend of mine's band called Swamp Possum. I think it was the first video ever posted on this channel. These nipples are sad. What about the hail? I saw some of it on TV. At the end of here. That's another dirty nipple. Really dirty. 73. Not the hail didn't kill the people, the tornadoes with hail, but it was the fact that their houses were flattened and fell on them. Now, I think there were 3 that were actually killed because the hail messed up the vehicles they were riding in and like broke the windshields out, that kind of thing. But I watched hours of the storm chasers over the last 3 days, and I didn't see anybody that was actually killed solely by the hail. I mean, I didn't watch everywhere, so I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter. It's all bad. Well, right now, or at least as a couple hours ago, Michigan was right on the edge of another line of those ugly storms. I mean, we were only in like 5% chance, but sometimes you can get 100% of 5%. So I'm still keeping an eye on everything. Still keeping an eye on it. Because these storms now are so unpredictable, and they could develop out of nowhere. There was one last night. These people were just driving down the road. There was no sign anywhere of any tornado activity where they were, and all of a sudden, yeah, they were having them last night in Windsor, Ontario. Oh, speaking of which, hi Numi. But yeah, they and people were asking in the live stream, where's Windsor, Ontario, and I'm like, right across the river from Detroit. Yeah. Yeah, they had warnings last night. So it's, you know, But what concerns me is people. Yeah, it is south of Detroit. I didn't say it was north of Detroit. I said it was right across the river from Detroit because of the way the bend and all that is. I actually went there once by accident. Hi, Bill 457. I was on a medical transport and the guy missed the exit and got on the bridge by mistake. The transit driver. He was arguing with his girlfriend on the phone, I guess, and wasn't paying attention. Next thing we know, oh looky, we got an oldie, got an 87. I don't even have a book that old. Well, I'm sure I do. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, I haven't seen Bill for a long time. 1947. Okay, here's my. I didn't even put this book out because I didn't figure I was going to get anything that went in it. But here we are, 45, 46. And I already have a 47. But that's still a keeper. That's a keeper. Keeper deeper. Put that up there with my 70S. Hey, Mike. Boy, we got a gang in here. We got 15 people. As soon as I finish this roll, we're going to do a gift away. Where am I at here? 82. But yeah, that was the only time I went to Canada was when we went by accident. That was funny. Except that it made me late for my medical appointment. I would like to go to Windsor. Do some music research. A lot of people don't know, but the band that I work with, they tried so hard back in the 60s to get a break in their own area, and all the DJs were just not wanting to play their record, and so Hugh shopped it to a radio station in Windsor, Ontario, and got them on a TV show up there in 66 called Swingin' Time. And the video is online. It's so hokey. I mean, they're lip syncing it, and they've got a sheet hanging up in the background with 3 question marks painted on it. But once they got played on there, of course, you can watch TV from Windsor and listen to the radio, in the States. So that finally got it to break in Detroit, and that ended up being their big break and their #1 single. So I would like to go up there and do some research in the old newspapers and stuff and see if I can find some of the historical articles. Okay. Well, wasn't much there except the 47. But we're going to do a couple nickel things here real quick. What did I do with my nickels? Where did I put them? Where'd y'all go? Oh, they're here. I just have them. There they is. All right. First, I'm going to read you an article. CKLW. That was the station. I'm pretty sure. Yep, I'm pretty sure that was it. Oh, goody. I'll have to make sure I got my notifications turned on, Bill. I've been trying to do better on watching other people's streams like I used to, but I'm still trying to get all my doctors and stuff lined up, and I go to bed pretty early. Okay, we're going to give away an Indian. One of them buffalo chasing Indians. Yeah, UHF, BHF. Yeah, I got in big trouble actually with a college professor when all that was going on, because in our Introduction to Broadcasting book and in his head, he made a statement in class that at that time, there were no network affiliated UHF channels. And I had just come back from Columbia, South Carolina, where they had just changed a UHF channel there, I believe it was channel 35 at the time, to an ABC affiliate. So I knew this professor was wrong, and I dared to put my little paw up in the air and say, "Excuse me, Professor, but Channel 35 in Columbia, South Carolina is an ABC affiliate." Oh, he was furious and said I was wrong. So I sent a message up to my friend Steve Taylor, who worked as a switcher there at Channel 35, and asked him to please send me a letter on station letterhead where it showed the ABC logo, Channel 35. Oh man, that professor busted my butt so bad. I actually switched colleges to avoid taking any more classes from him. And then when I got done with everything I would need for my degree that didn't involve that professor, then I transferred back to University of South Florida. So Manny Lukoff, if you're still alive, you know what we called you, and it wasn't Lukoff, and you know why. That, and he destroyed our best underground railroad station in the whole state of Florida. He was a joke. I wasn't here at that time, Lisa. I lived in Florida. I knew a lot of Michigan people, and my best friend was from Michigan, but I was not here, except for like periodically in the summer. But my best friend and we were avid Mysterians fans, and they would come to Florida almost every winter. So that's how I got hooked up with that band. And we knew a lot of bands from Michigan at that time. Bob Seger, because her brother worked with Bob Seger in The Last Herd. And we knew a couple of guys from the MC5 and the Rationals. And yeah, I lived in Orlando, Florida, so we were pretty advanced on the TV spectrum. I will ask Q about your dad's band, though, Lisa. He seemed to have known everybody back then. Yeah, we're doing good. We got 20 people in here tonight. That's awesome. Before I give away this nickel and maybe something else, I found a newspaper article today. And you guys know little Sisie Smart. She likes to read these historic newspaper articles about uh, currency and coins, counterfeiting, detecting, and all kinds of stuff. Well, I found a doozy today that I'm going to share with you. It's an oldie. It's from the New Orleans Republic. And this is from Saturday, December 5th, 1868. And this is front page news, page 1. And I'm putting it up here, but I know you guys can't actually read it from the screen, I don't think, but oops, I messed up. Let's get rid of that. But I'm going to read it to you because it's fun. And it's about nickels. And it is called The Counterfeit Nickel Case. Further examination of witnesses. Gregora and Balfour committed. Mrs. Gregora on bail. Scene between husband and wife. The examination of the charge of counterfeiting against Antonio and Mary Gregoria was resumed today before United States Commissioner Warren. The following testimony was taken. Thomas Houlihan. On Sunday morning, the 29th, we were accompanied by Corporal Wash, Kanonji, and William Walsh to the stand of Mr. Gregora and produced a warrant informing Mr. Gregora that he was arrested for passing counterfeit nickels. Mrs. Gregora then went toward her house. We went to the house of Gregora and found Mrs. Gregora in the act of secreting the nickels, now shown in the book basket produced in court, under the bed. We then arrested Mrs. Gregora and carried her to the station and took possession of the nickels, which are now shown in the same basket. Testimony of PZ Kanonji. On Sunday, the 29th, myself, officers Houlihan and Walsh visited the stand of Mr. Gregora. Officer Walsh arrested Mr. Gregora on the charge of having counterfeit nickels in his possession and passing the same. Officer Houlihan opened the drawer of the stand of Gregora and captured their $3.25 in counterfeit nickels and 25 cents in good nickels. Mrs. Gregora then came up, and when she saw the drawer was open, she ran to her residence, and I pursued her. When I entered the house, Mrs. Gregora had taken the basket in her hands, placing it under the bed. I took the basket to the station myself, counted the nickels, and found $72. Michael Walsh's testimony. Assisted in arresting Mr. Gregora. After arresting Gregora, I asked where he procured these nickels. He said he had bought them at the rate of $100 for $50. Mrs. Gregora then told her husband to tell where the man lived that made the counterfeit nickels, saying, "I told you before you would get me in a difficulty." M.K. Peck, having for some time received counterfeit nickels from Mr. Gregora, I came to the belief that he was into the habit of passing counterfeit nickels. On the 25th of November, I bought 3 oranges and gave him a 50-cent My eyes aren't focusing. A 50-cent and received 2 counterfeit nickels, which I now produce. On the morning of the 26th, Gregorio gave me 3 more counterfeit nickels in change for something that I had bought. On the morning of the 26th, I bought an orange for 5 cents and gave him a dime. He gave me the counterfeit nickel now produced in change. On the morning of the 27th, I purchased 10 cents worth of oranges of Mrs. Gregora. She gave me a counterfeit nickel in change, which nickel is now at the Tremy station. The commander, in default of the prescribed amount of bail, $4,000, committed Antonio Gregora and Maria Valor for trial before the United States Circuit Court. Mrs. Gregora was released upon giving bonds of $1,500 to appear at the same time. The separation between herself and her husband, when the latter was led off in the custody of the deputy marshal, was an extremely interesting scene and made those present regret that the rigor of the law should have intervened in part 2, so evidently attached to each other. Oops. So that was in 1868. And he was getting the counterfeit nickels two for price of one. So looks like they took it pretty seriously. I guess that would be more in another paper. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, that article was pretty good. That's why I chose to read that one. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do some more research on that one. Because I just thought that was very interesting that they were putting the details of where the counterfeits came from and really, I think what the court was after was to find the source, but Mr. Gregora got greedy and instead of distributing them a few at a time, he was just pumping them out there. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. So we're going to do a giveaway now, a nickel giveaway. Let's see here. Now, what we're going to do this by there's we're going to type into the stream. Come on. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find, I didn't have time today, but I want to go back a few newspaper issues and forward a few to see if I can get the beginning of the trial and the end of the trial. I seem to have fallen in the middle of it. Okay. In order to qualify to win, you need to type hashtag Fiverr, Fiver, into the stream. And we're going to give you all a few minutes to do that. And what I'm going to be giving away is, hey Jack, Hey, Big Silver. Boy, I still got 19 in here. It says we're going to give away a 1930 Buffalo. Buffalo. And a newer Buffalo. And just to make things a little nicer, we're going to give away President James Monroe, a $1 James Monroe, and he's in lovely condition. He'd be beautiful. Del Brett, hey. Boy, I'm getting to everybody tonight. This is awesome. I appreciate all of you coming back to see me again. Fiber? Annette, do you need more fiber? Oh, I love you guys. Daddy Pooh! Oh, my goodness. Y'all rock. I think you guys can tell I'm starting to feel better. I knew I had to get out of Virginia or I was never going to get better. And I mean, I still got a lot of health issues. Yeah, I have blurry vision too. I have a tumor in one eye, but it's not so bad. I passed the driver's license eye test when I got here to Michigan. And I actually, I was miserable in Virginia. I hated every minute of it. And I had lived there before. I didn't like it the first time. And the second time, I had no intention of living there. I got stuck there because I got sick. I mean, I got really sick. And then it took me 3 years to get housing in Michigan that I could afford, that was decent. And then it took all that time to get the money and get connected with University of Michigan, which is where they're going to investigate what they can do as far as treatment for me. Because the main situation is that in order to treat one thing that I have, they want me to stop the treatment for 4 other ones. And there's no good way to do this. So I'm going to kind of be a guinea pig for a research program that hopefully will help me and will also help some other people. I mean, I'm 71 years old now, but there are people who have this disease that are a lot younger, and I don't want them to go through what I went through, being misdiagnosed. Yeah, they are pretty darn good. When I was in Virginia, and I want to do a shout out to a ophthalmologist there who works mostly with people with thyroid and other autoimmune eye diseases. His name is Nicholas Ramey. He is in Roanoke, Virginia, and he is the one who stayed on my case until he was able to determine what I really had. And he decided that I needed to have a brain biopsy. You could see on the imaging that this tumor had gone through the orbit of my eye and into my brain. We can't have that because I got enough screwy stuff in my brain. I don't I don't need extra stuff growing up in there, you know? So when they did the biopsy, they went in through my eye and got different places of the growth. And they sent it off, and I thought they sent it to Duke University in North Carolina. Well, it took a while because they were testing me for everything because Dr. Ramey wasn't going to give up. And finally, I got a call from his office about 2 months in, and the nurse, not knowing that I had lived in Michigan before, that I was desperately trying to get back up here, she says, well, we know what you have now. We got your biopsy results back from the University of Michigan. And I started laughing because I've been trying over 2 years to get back to Michigan because I knew the healthcare was better here. And I started laughing, and she wanted to know what was so funny about getting my results from the University of Michigan. And I just told them, I said, hey, you know, I've been trying for 2.5 years to get back to Michigan. I'm glad to hear at least part of me got there. Then she understood why I was laughing. And so now I'm finally, my insurance has found a doctor that not only takes my insurance, but is also affiliated with the program I've been trying to get in at U of M. So hopefully something's going to start happening, but I'm doing much better here. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's way better than Virginia. I was so miserable that I got stuck there. I just wanted to get out. All right. Let me see. Well, there's 19 people, 20 people, according to StreamYard, that are in the stream, but only 12 have made the comments. So I'm going to read the list of who is in. And then if you don't hear it, you're going to need to type the hashtag Fiverr in the stream. FIV is in Victor, ER. Right now, the following are entered. Adventures in Michigan with Lisa, Annette Esman, Big Silver Bullion, Bill 457, Del Brett, Doug Harding, Fleabag, Jack, Mike Shalise, Sky Quest, Lucky James, New Miss Maniac, and William E. If you did not hear your name, you need to type in hashtag Fiverr. Yeah, I did see New Marshall. There's New Marshall. I almost said something bad. Almost got me in trouble. New Marshall, it's not picking up that you're on your period there. There you go. I'm in a mood today, folks. I'm almost bordering on slap happy. Now you're in there. I'm up to 14 now, but there's still 6 people missing. Yeah, let me see here. We got 14 out of 20. Where's the rest of ya? You don't like my little prizes? Well, I'm sorry. Like I said, I am past menopause. You having your hot flashes yet, Carrie? Oh, Lordy. Like I said earlier, I'm going to the Clarkston coin show on June 1st. So I'm going to try to get some better prizes. I just couldn't get to anything. Right now, I don't have a car. So, and I sold most of my collection trying to get to Michigan. So, I'm finally going to go to a coin show. And past womanopause. M3 says he's past kitty paws. Meow. Where's that little stinker anyway? Where you at, Emmy? Emmy, meow. I don't know. Oh, has anybody seen Silver Slinky? If you see Silver Slinky, Silver won the April Patreon drawing, and I need an address. So every month we have a drawing of channel sponsors. If you cannot use the Patreon way of donating, I can also take Cash App or PayPal. And as long as you donate at least $2.96, you will be in that month's drawing. Oh, thank you, Doug. Yeah, I am going to be posting some things in my eBay store tomorrow. I've got everything from vintage t-shirts to I've got original Tokyo Comic-Con backpacks with Steve Wozniak on them. They're brand new. My niece's kids brought them back from Japan where they used to live. I've got shoes, I got men's shirts, I got some very obscure rock and roll records, I got knitting and crochet patterns. I got a little bit of everything in there. That started out as a medical fund, and it still is, in that I need to get a car now that I'm here. I've discovered that some of the transportation is not quite as good as it used to be. Florida! Woohoo! Hi, Dwayne. Thank you for what you sent the other day. So anyway, yeah, we're doing a contest here. Get rid of that. I got too many windows open here. Okay, we got 14 out of, now we got 18 in the room. So 4 people are missing. We need you to type in hashtag Fiverr. F like Frank, I, V like Victor, ER. Fiverr. Like a $5 bill or 5 cents. And I'm going to wait for about another minute, and then we're going to do the drawing. We're going to give away the old Buffalo 1930 with a new Buffalo, and James Monroe, who's going to try to roller skate the Buffalo herd. There we go. Woohoo! Then we're going to open another roll of nickels. The oldest one we found today is 1947. I was hoping for a war nickel, and we kind of went past the war. I will say, the first war nickel that I found metal detecting. I found on my sister's farm in Virginia. And I found very little else on that farm. So it was really strange. But yeah, that was my first one. Okay, we're up to 19 people now. There you go. Mike agreed. Oh, and for those who have not seen Kevin K lately, I was in touch with him, and he's been working 18-hour days. So he hadn't had much time to be online. He be a busy boy. He be busy. Yeah, some of my 45s are very rare, Bill. The very first one I put, I didn't want to sell my 45s, but somebody else needs to enjoy them. The very first one I put up was so rare, I couldn't even find a price. And I was checking with all my record collecting friends, and I was talking to one of them out in Texas. And I told her, I said, I'm just going to throw this record up here at a ridiculous price. And if nobody bids on it, I can always make it lower. And so I put it up for $300 and I sold it in an hour. So I had underpriced it. So in the course of I've only sold about 10 of my records so far, but most of them have sold for $150 to $300 each. And then I bought one. Now, I had not planned on buying one, but I bought it for a reason. And that's because someone had liberated my 45 of 96 Tears on the Pagogo label. And I know how rare that record is because I work with Question Mark and the Mysterians. I know what that record sells for. And I got a deal because the way the sale was written up, and I just happened to jump in on it, and I got it. And it was nasty dirty, but once I cleaned it, it plays just fine. It's very, very rare. And I was heartbroken. Somebody stole mine. We were doing an exhibit on the band, and somebody actually took my copy right out of the exhibit, stole it, slapped somebody up at Delta College. I hope they're enjoying my record. But anyway, I ended up buying one for far less than what it's worth. Yeah, really, I would love it. And ironically, Doug, since you said that, Weird Al's bass player is a guy named Stephen J. I knew Stephen J. I grew up with Stephen J. He's from Orlando, and he's been with Weird Al for decades. He used to play in a teen center band in Orlando called Covington Tower. And yeah, we hung out with him all the time when we were growing up. He was the first musician in Orlando to have a sitar. Yeah, Lisa, I bought it because Hugh's house burned down, and he didn't even have a copy on Pagogo. At least I didn't think he did. So, but apparently there's one of his family members does. But anyway, yeah, I went to school with Weird Al's bass player for a while. Hey, Coinen! All right, Coinen, get in there quick. Type in #Fiverr. I'm about ready to do this drawing. I got 15 people out of 18, so we're not going to wait too much longer. But yeah, that Pagogo, I asked Q if he wanted it, and he said no, he wanted to autograph it, and then if I wanted to sell it autographed, it would be worth even more. And we're going to make a video of him autographing it, and that money's going to go in my car fund. So I'm still not going to have a Pagogo copy, but I'll have a car, and I can go see Q then. And that's better than a piece of plastic. So anyway, yeah, I've done pretty well on my records, and I need to get back on them. I've got thousands of 45s, but only maybe 50 that are worth a lot of money. And I sold most of my albums, but I have 2 or 3 albums that are worth a lot of money. I got another one of those deals that's so rare that we can't even put a price on it. The last time I found a price on it, it was about $800. And it is a green vinyl bootleg Jethro Tull album. That bad boy's worth some money. But yeah, I hate that I'm selling my records, but I'm 71. Somebody else needs to enjoy them. And I need a car. And I need money to do the things I want to do and stay healthy. Flurry, any word on your aunt, honey? Oh, I used to have thousands of albums. When I moved to Michigan the first time, I sold the bulk of my album collection because I bought a motorhome and I lived in it for a while. Now keep us up on things. All right, anybody else want in? Last chance. Last chance. Okay, I think we're about everybody in now. We've got 17 out of 19. Yeah, some of the old 45s are worth money, but it's mostly the really obscure ones, like not when they were a big hit. It's more like the little local band made 500 copies, and then later on they had a hit record. It's that kind of stuff that people collect. The average run-of-the-mill 45s, like everybody thinks Beatle records are all going to be worth a lot of money, and that's not true. Very few of them are worth a lot of money. Sometimes if they had a really cool photo sleeve, then they'll be worth more. But in general, it's the really obscure stuff that has value. I have studied records for 45s for decades. All right, let's see. Yeah, see, some of the demos are worth a lot more than the actual records. Even if it was a popular one, I just recently sold a demo. I only got $10 for it, but I didn't pay anything for it. I got it from the radio station. And it was Leonard Skinner's Saturday Night Special. Had mono on one side and stereo on the other. Wasn't in perfect condition. Condition is everything, too. That's the other deal. But, yeah. Anyway, I got all kinds of things in the eBay store, so thanks, Doug, for throwing that up there. Now let me get over here, and we're going to give away this little prize package for no particular reason except that we've been going through nickels. Oops. Oh, button. Get on. Yeah, I did it again. Dummy, dummy, dummy. All right. Yada, yada, yada. Share screen. Ladybot. Yippee-I-O. All right. Hi, Dan. All right. Let's see if I can get over here. Let's see. Got it. Now, I will warn you. The Nightbot doesn't go scrolling through all the names. I mean, it goes through the names, but it doesn't show. It just picks a winner immediately. Liver. Yeah, funny. Yuck, yuck. All right, so we're going to roll this puppy. We don't know this puppy. And let's see. Maniac! Jack, we were talking about you earlier. All right, Mr. Maniac. I need you to send me your address. You got 2 buffaloes in the herd and oops, I knocked myself out of there. Good job, dudes. Email me your Addy, please. I'll send these out to you. Sorry, I don't have a lot of fancy things to give away. I sold all my stuff just trying to get myself back to Michigan to get my medicinal treatments, which I seem to be doing better. So, I mean, once in a while I have something weird happen up here because they're changing meds around and doing some different things than what was happening in Virginia. All right, let's put that in there. Put that up here with my mailbox. And then we're going to do one more roll of these Mitchells. Let's see if there's anything. Python! Thank you for coming. Hit the like button on your way out. Get my nickel books situated again. Okay, this one I need the 2 hardest ones, 1971 and 1987 P. Everything from 95 to 2023 I have filled. And 38 to 61, I need a bunch. Hopefully we'll get a few in that book. All right. Woohoo. Y'all don't forget, Wednesday night is metal detecting night. I got something I'm going to demo or attempt to demo. Piece of equipment. An accessory. A 2D. 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 I didn't know the facts of life were in here. That 2D. Oh, there's another one of those Louis and Clarkies. Yeah, Jack, I asked about you earlier because last night I was watching the Storm Chasers, or yesterday, and they mentioned Marion, North Carolina, and Cherokee County, and I was wondering how your weather had been. You leaving me, Bill? All right. Thank you for being here. I was glad to see you again. I'll try to catch one of your live streams. Bill's streaming again, folks. Woohoo. All right. Let's see if there's anything good in this Mitchell. Yeah, this is the most people I've had on my Monday night show in a while. I really appreciate y'all being here. We try to have fun. I'm going to try to find the follow-up articles on that counterfeit penny trial from the 1860s. So let's see if we can follow up on that. Yeah, they had Galax, Virginia was in the line of fire for a little while last night. I checked with some friends there. They seem to be okay. So, but I thought about it, and they were getting rained on, and the Memorial Day weekend is when they have the big giant miles and miles flea market there that I used to sell stuff in. And I'm glad I wasn't, because I'm sure it got rained out. But they did call me and ask me if I wanted my booth, and I told them no, I didn't work there anymore. Thanked them for thinking about me. Yeah, see, every year that thing gets rained out. I don't know why. It just does. Today's been rainy all day here. I did get some of my plants planted and out on the balcony, and I was just praying that after all that work it didn't blow away, but I got everything anchored down with rocks and bricks and that kind of stuff, and nothing moved. So we had some pretty dusties. 68S. Oh, we got a 68S. That's the second S. I got a 68 and a 70 now. There's no space in the books for the S's. There. Well, let's turn it over and look at it first. It doesn't have a whole lot of its details left. And it's pretty warm, but I don't get too many S's. So that's a keeper. That was a keeper. Give me a generic book for S's. It doesn't have any dates and marks, it just has spaces. 77. I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with me tonight. I've got rain 5 minutes. No, we've had rain all day, James, over here. And we're not that far from Detroit. But yeah, we've had rain pretty much all day. In fact, like I said earlier, there was a big of thunder and some lightning this morning, and it sent little M went running and got under the bed. And he stayed in there for about 45 minutes, and then he figured it wasn't going to do anything, and he came back out. But yeah, it was really loud. Three. Ooh, that is 61. Check the album. That's 61 here that looks better than that. But we'll keep this one. I usually keep anything from 60s on back in the nickels. Those last few are out. Yeah, I'm gonna make some chicken wings in my air fryer. It did tonight. Last night I made some chicken and rice. So got a bit of that left over. So I'll have that as my side. Yeah, I think it's might still be raining. I can't really see out the window, but I could see the tops of the trees are blowing pretty good. So, and it looks pretty dark. I mean, it's about to be dark, but not yet. Uh, 76. I know I don't need that. And the last one. 2030. Well, what do you think, guys? Should I do one more roll of nickels? Or should I go make my wings? You guys make the call. You guys decide. Make chicken wings. Chicken wings. Fuck! Like duck, only different. Yeah, well, we're a little bit north of you. Well, I'm going to open one more, because I feel like it. Because I feel like it. Put these over here in the in the later on box. One for the road. All right, we're going to do one for the Scooby. I was going to play some games and I forgot. I forget it. I missed it. Yeah, it rained all day here too. Lisa's in the Bay City area. She's north of me. I want to go detecting. Dang it. Couple of weeks I'll be going to Detect Michigan. But I want to go now. I want to go now. I need to get warmed up to it again. In a long time. In a long time. Long. Come on, knits. Oops, just broke my fingernail. $81. So close, and yet so far. I need the 87, 81. Cheap. Yeah. Heck, even storm clouds can't live in Detroit. Oh, that was mean. I'm sorry. That's another thing I need a car for. I want to go to Detroit. A friend of mine plays music over there. Has a little band called Benny and the Jets. I want to go see Benny. And I want to go to Ann Arbor to see one of my favorite blues guys, Laith Al-Sadi. If that name sounds familiar, he was cheated. He's a guy that was cheated out of winning The Voice because he wasn't pretty and he had a funny name. So they only let him be the runner-up. He was actually should have won. He's awesome. Yeah, I got another channel I want to start working on if I can ever get everything set up right. I want to start working on a music thing. I got a lot of musician friends, and several of them have said they would happily come on and be interviewed. So, got some stories to tell about a riot I was in down in Florida at a concert venue. And about a bunch of concerts I've worked. Ain't pretty to have a funny name. Pretty, a real common name. Tree. Not for me. About to get to the end of this. Did anybody get packages yet from me? I sent a bunch out. Or envelopes, not necessarily packages. No, that was 1995. I wish it was 45. I'd have been real happy. No, I'd have been doing the happy dance if that had been in 1945. Dang. Three left. Two. Last one. Lastest one. Yeah. Well, we got a couple little treasures. We had a couple of S's and a 47. And we got the 23B that I needed to fill album number 3. So, wasn't bad. Gave away some buffalo. Oh, I think I'll save the quarters in case I don't get, well, I know I'm going to get something this weekend. One thing about coin shows, they don't rain out, so I got a handful of coins here. Really can't tell. All right, 50. No, I didn't have a 50. I had a 47. And a what? 68S. And what this is up here for? Oh, because we were looking at the mint mark on it. Yes. Fun. It might have a double redo. Even when I trim it, it's still funky. There's my 70S. So I have a 68S and a 70S. Alrighty. I found this on the floor today. Canadian. I gotta look this up. Do I have a P.O. box? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact. I spent the money. There's hardly ever anything in it, but I can't remember the code. Oh, that would be cool. A Bay City parking token. Yeah, I would appreciate anybody has anything for me to give away. I'd be happy. Oh, and I'm supposed to let everybody know. Patty DeSharoon is not going to be doing too many in live streams for a little bit of time. She's going to go visit some family and isn't going to have availability to be online too much. But she sent me a message to let me know, because she usually sends us some pretty good photos of her finds on the detecting show. Hey, Dwayne, did you get those new shirts yet? Well, it wasn't mail, I guess. I'm trying to find the... Yeah, she's been killing it with that legend. My catwalk must be stuck in on position. Darn it. I can just type it in faster than I can find the stupid command. Yep. Catwalk stuck. What is going on here? There. By golly, I got it in there. Yeah, she does real good with her detecting. Oh, excuse me. Ah, I can't believe I still got 14 people in here. This is awesome. This is awesome. I appreciate it so much. I see. Okie dokie. Hi, Seth. We're just about to wrap this kitty up in a sack and put it to bed. Y'all don't forget, if you have not made your guess on the how much money is in the tub, scroll up to the top of the stream and you will see a link pin there. You can go over to that video, take a good look at how much you think is in there, and make your guess. One guess per person. Okay. What is the deal here? On this Canadian penny. Do I have any Canadian people? Is Nui still here? I need... People are asking outrageous prices for this penny. That's why I had it laid off to the side, I guess. Yeah, people are asking outrageous sums of money on eBay. Of course, we all know you can't really go by eBay. But well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm seeing 350, 179, 1200, 1000, 80, 398, 1000. I'm not sure why. Now I'm going to go and look at the sold. Look at the real. Why people think this is worth that much money. Interesting. I'll have to research that penny. So we will be researching this penny. And I'll let you know what it's worth. I'm pretty sure it's not that much. I couldn't get that lucky. Yeah, that's more like it. 4 cents. 4 cents. Too funny. And on that note, it's cheeky. Yeah, I just actually, we had a box of pennies that had like 70, over 70 Canadian pennies in it. At which point I went ahead and got albums to put them in. But the rest of my Canadian coins are in a little plastic box. But I did start putting the pennies in an album when I had that many of them. The box no longer seemed practical. Alrighty, well, I promised M3, but I don't see M3. He's avoiding us. So I'm going to trick him. I'll be right back. Don't leave. I'm going to trick M3 into coming on him. And I know just how to do it. Where you at, Eminem? Where you at, bud? Maybe I don't know how to trick him. Oh, there he is. Hi, bud. What? Huh? What we got going on, buddy? You want to talk to everybody? You want yum-yums? Yeah? Hang on. Mama's going to try to set you up. Hang on. Yeah, you tell it. Tell it, Bubba. Come on. Come on. What? Breakfast of Champions. Yeah, he is. I see him. Come here, Bubba. Whoa, Mama giving you treatables. He's pigging. He's pigging. Sucking them up like a vacuum cleaner. Da-da-da. There's the boy, kitty. There he is. Showing his best side. What you think, bud? Huh? Huh? All right. He's trying to eat the camera. He's silly. Want to show your best side again? Hmm? All right. That was the boy. Green-eyed kitty, man. That's eBay over there. Yeah, all those boxes, that's eBay. That's the stuff I don't have listed yet. So there you have it, folks. You got pretty much everything I promised, except we didn't play any games. But M3 Kitty Man, yeah, I had to break out the snackers. He wasn't gonna come otherwise. I'll tell you, there's something going on with the weather because he was hiding. He was in one of his hidey holes. And so I had to get the treats to get him to come on. Yeah, what are you doing? New books. You ain't collecting no coins. Oh, you silly little man. He's silly. Do I like my new place? I don't like that it's on the 5th floor. That makes me very nervous. I'm not fond of heights. So it has taken me a while to adjust. I like the apartment. The apartment's fine. I'm just not wild about being up this high. But other than that, I like it. Well, I'm making it a little more comfortable by getting my plants going again. And that kind of blocks the view of the drop off. My biggest concern is that M will get out onto the balcony and somehow go off the edge. That bothers me. And their rules here are somewhat restrictive about what you can put on your balcony, but they can kiss my grits because M is an emotional support animal. He is registered through my doctor as an emotional support animal. So if they say anything to me about the little things that I put up there to keep him from doing that, I will end up filing a request for reasonable accommodations through the Americans with Disability Act. As a matter of fact, that's something I have to do right now. Hadn't mentioned this on the show, but they want to come in and spray chemicals all over my apartment. And I can't breathe the fumes of it, and I have skin allergies to it. I filed back in March and stopped them from coming in to do that. But this time around, the tone of the notice that they put on my door was a little bit, I thought it was nasty, to be real honest. I don't think it's a way to get cooperation from your tenants when you word it as treatment is not optional. Please make sure your unit is ready. The following 3 conditions will be considered non-compliance of your lease, and you will receive a lease violation if you don't do what they want you to do. And what they want you to do is you're not allowed to treat your unit with over-the-counter pest control products, which I do have a pest control product that I have been approved by the dermatologist to use. Unit is not prepped properly when the tech arrives. you are unable to remove your pet from the unit. If you receive 3 lease violations for failing to comply, management will send your file to an attorney and begin the eviction process for health and safety. Now, they didn't just send this to me. They sent this to everybody. And I already have a reasonable accommodations on file. So, I'm just not going to comply. I can't comply. It will make me sick. And I'm not going to do it. Furry, I have never had bed bugs in my life. When I change my beds, I steam the mattress. Steam kills bed bugs. I have no bugs of any kind in my unit. I have never, other than one time in Virginia where our building had fleas. But I have a special spray that I can use. They know about it. You know, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, they're spraying for bed bugs. I don't have bed bugs. I don't have any kind of bugs. I've never had any bugs. They're spraying for everything. They do it every 3 months. But because I have the autoimmune disorders and the allergies that I have, I cannot be exposed to the spray they use. We have already established that through the Americans with Disabilities Act. Medical records were submitted, etc. So this is a second copy of the Americans with Disability Act submittal, just to remind them that it's on file. And we'll see what happens. I don't understand the logic behind you cannot spray with any spray but what they want to use. Tina, I cannot be exposed to the spray they use. Medically, I cannot be exposed to it. That is why the ADA reasonable accommodations made an exception for me that I could use a different spray. I'm not saying I don't want to spray anything. I can't use the spray they use. They want to spray it on my mattress. I'll have to throw my mattress in the garbage and buy a new bed every 3 months. I cannot use the chemicals they are trying to force me to use. It's not that I don't want extermination. I don't want to be poisoned by the extermination. The Americans with Disability Act approved my request. The Michigan Civil Rights Office backed me on this. They did not make me get sprayed 3 months ago for that reason. Now we have a new management company has taken over this property, and they're trying to turn back the decision of the Americans with Disabilities Act. They cannot do that. I cannot breathe those fumes. I had a pulmonary embolism. I cannot breathe the fumes, and I cannot touch those chemicals. See my arms? See this? No. We've already done that, Tina. We did that 3 months ago. That's why the Americans with Disability Act said they needed to exempt me from their spraying. And they did 3 months ago. So I don't understand why they're doing this now. Well, yeah, I do. It's because they got a new management company and they want to flex their muscles. But I am not going to allow them to come in and spray something that is libelous to my health. I can't do that. I moved here to get better, not to get poisoned. I have already talked to the exterminating company. We did that 3 months ago. They said, no, they cannot substitute. It's in their contract what they have to use for this building. But they can exempt my unit and allow me to use an alternate product. But now they're saying, no, you can't do that. They cannot turn back. Americans with Disability Act is it's federal. This is a federally funded complex. I've had bed bugs before. I got them in a hotel years ago. I know what they are, and I know how to get rid of them. And the product that I have gets rid of them. So, and it is proven to get rid of them. So, I don't know what the deal is here, but all I'm doing is giving them a copy of what they did 3 months ago. So I have no choice but to fight it, because if you think what bed bugs do to you is bad, what that chemical will do to me is worse. It couldn't put me in the intensive care unit. Well, first I'm going to the manager and just saying, hey, did you forget that we came to an agreement back in March when I first had moved in? No, that won't work. The leaving the apartment won't work because they actually spray the chemical on your furniture. My furniture will have to leave the apartment. Either that or my skin is going to peel off my body. So no, that won't work either. We already established that with medical records, multiple doctors. So at the suggestion of the senior legal people and my family, they told me just provide them with a copy of what you did in March, give them the same doctor's stuff over again, offer to get them more, but let them know they cannot come in and spray that stuff because it will jeopardize your treatment. I just can't do it. I'm not going to die from bed bugs, but I could die from the chemical poisoning. So we just can't do it. When I was in Virginia, they actually, the apartment complex purchased the spray I needed for me. And that's a matter of record as well. So I don't know. No, it is not good for my cat. And he is a registered emotional support animal. So But my concern, my number one concern, is that it's going to screw up my treatment for my IgG4 and my other ailments. And I'm not willing to sacrifice my life to kill some bed bugs. You know, I'm just not, because it's not necessary. There's another way to do this. It's just not necessary. So it is what it is, but I'm just right now, I'm just going to go provide them copies of the agreement that we made in March and see what happens. I mean, I don't know what else to do. But the main thing was I didn't like the threatening tone. You know, I mean, like they highlighted, we will do this and you will do that. I mean, like made it in bold and underlined. Nope. You don't have to intimidate a bunch of old people because you want to spray their apartments. That's not necessary to be that rude. Yeah, they do have a lot of rules. And they did not send me that part of the lease until after I was already in Michigan. And then they presented that part of the lease. And I had no choice but to sign. My favorite one is there's a part in there that says you're allowed to have 5 small flower pots on your balcony. What is small? Is that small? Or is that small? Or is that small? Everything is very ambiguously worded, and they've met their match with me because I just don't. And now that I'm up here, I have other places I could move to if I have to move again. I don't want to move again, but I'm not going to let them poison me either. So I think I'm going to go put my wings in, take this down, drop it in the mail chute. We'll see what happens. And I cleared it with my brother, so he's always the voice of reason in the family. So if he says this is what I should do, then it's probably what I should do. And every time I have gone on one of these battles, I have won because you can't argue with the medical records. And like I said, I have alternate ways of treating the problem. They just, I don't know. They went with it in May. So why now they're not going to go with it? You know, if they came and they saw there was bugs, I could understand that. But there's no bugs. So I'm going to bug them. And on that note, thank everybody for coming. I got to get off my soapbox now. I shouldn't have even mentioned it. I'll see y'all Wednesday night. Bye, everybody.